didn't have, or his mom was not around, was raised by a gang, just because there's no parents, and so they provided shelter. And it's crazy because you get stuck into a system, a cycle, because you don't have any way of learning or seeing anything else. And like one of the first times I was there, I asked the kids, how many of you guys have a job? Most of them raise their hand. Most of them have an income. And they're in high school, right? They're going to school and they're working. And next question is, how many of you have a bank account? Nobody. Not a single person had a bank account. So I was like, so how do you guys, what do you do with your money? So we get a check. We go to the liquor store. We cash the check. Now the liquor store is going to take 1 to 10% of that check. And then what are you going to do? You're going to buy candy, you're going to buy pop, you're going to buy a bunch of dumb stuff on your way out, and now you're left with only half of your check. And now what do you do? It's this, I like to call it net zero thinking, where if I have cash, I need to spend it. I have $500 in a bank account, I gotta make that zero. If I have $1,000, I gotta spend it. Because we think, oh my God, if I had 10 grand, I would go on this nice vacation. If I had 50 grand, I would buy this car. We think in terms of, it's that consumer mindset of, if I have this money, I need to spend it. But this is where we have to break out of that and understand, what can we do differently? And instead of just spending all of this money, and it's much more difficult now because of the higher cost of living, but it's so much more important now than ever. We've got to create this margin. I call it like an equation where your wealth is really, you take your income minus your expenses, and that's equal to your investments plus your savings. So you take your income, whatever money you make, you subtract your expenses, your houses, your home, your clothes, your car, whatever your expenses are. And if you have some money left, either this money is going to be saved or it's going to be invested. Well, if you have some money left, you're already, doing something that a lot of people are not doing. You're more than the majority of people. Right now, I just read a study yesterday. 7 out of 10 Americans across the board are living paycheck to paycheck. 50% of Americans that are making $250,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. It's not how much money you make, it's what you do with the money you make that is so important. And so now, if you have a buffer, you're already better than the majority of people. Now the question is what do you do with it? Well, we're taught, save it. Save all of it. So your investments are zero, and your savings are trying to grow and thinking that you're going to become wealthy. But you're never going to be able to outsave inflation. Your savings are literally making you poorer each and every day. However, you don't want to just not save money. You got to be strategic with it. What I like to say is, there are 3 reasons why you should be saving money. You save money for an emergency, have somewhere between 3 to 12 months worth of expenses, depending on your risk tolerance. Save money for a big purchase, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, and need some cash in the bank. Save money for an investment. If you're not saving money for one of these 3 reasons, you are saving your money the wrong way, and it's making you poorer each and every day.
Now, you didn't say save for retirement.
You invest for retirement. You talk about retirement, we're about to face a big retirement crisis. Because traditionally, retirement was what people like to call a 3-legged stool. You had your Social Security, you had your pension, and then you had your own investments, or your savings, what a lot of people like to do. Well, pensions are something you only read in history books anymore. They're a thing of the past. So those don't exist anymore. Social Security is running into a very, very, very big dilemma, because right now, if you are under the age of 45, the Social Security money that you're paying isn't going to go to fund your Social Security income. It's going to fund somebody else to retire, because the Social Security program has much bigger expenses than income. And so it is on the path of being completely dried up, of just running out of money.
Is this because the younger demographics are just a smaller cohort than the older, or?
There's a lot of reasons for it. It's how the Social Security money is spent. It's how many people are requiring Social Security money, how long people are living for, how long these Social Security checks have to go out for. A lot of bad calculations, bad investing. And so the Social Security fund is now drying up. And so now everyone says, well, I'm not worried about it, because government can just print more money and do bigger Social Security checks. That's what we're seeing this year. We saw between 2021 and now, the biggest Social Security raise ever is between 5 and 6%, something in that range, which, one, is already not keeping up with inflation. So yeah, you got a bigger Social Security check, but
got that fucking platinum, I'm a fucking loser, yeah!
But then the second issue is, just think about that for a second. If
invest your money, yeah.
Money, which means the Fed is going to print money.
I'm investing in these nuts.
Give you bigger Social Security checks. What does that mean? You got a bigger